Good morning. It's August 11th, the second Wednesday of the month. Time for your resident council to give a report to residents. We're going to start this morning with a call to order and say before this meeting will please come to order. Leon, would you please read off the attendance?
Harry Corman,
Present.
Sheldon Willens, Kathy Leonard, Lou Gleesman,
Here.
Walter Kruger,
Here.
Carol Siddons,
Here.
Eileen Casassa,
Here.
Erwin Wecker,
Here.
Janet Magenheim, Elaine Hollander,
Here.
Joan Hecht, Ken Damian, Joan Posey,
Here.
Al Pearlman,
Here.
Yurdy Nelson. That's the
It's time for my comments, and right now the only comment I have is to follow our executive director's recommendations. They may be strict, but it's worked for the last year and a half, and it's been very effective. I would suggest that we follow them further. It's time for the reports. Lead Justice, Housekeeping and Environment,
Thank you, sir.
Housekeeping, environmental services. We're going to do business as normal. We're doing extra precautions with the COVID. We have purchased a second fog mist machine to help sanitize the areas for common residents and the auditoriums and stuff like that. We are currently working on sprucing up some of the common areas as well with the breezeways. As you can see, we painted that this morning. I'm sure most of the residents walked through there and saw the new flooring we're trying to put down to give it a more aesthetic, pleasing look. It's also tread safe, so it's a little bit less slippery when it rains. Stephanie's currently working on reevaluating some of our common area housekeeper schedules to make it more efficient so that we can get more areas cleaned in a better fashion. We have paused some of the 2 people going around to the villas due to some staffing shortages, but we are working on getting that back in order. Let's see what else. We have looking to purchase some new equipment for the housekeepers, some new window stuff, floor scrubbing machines, new vacuums, stuff like that. We are going through that process. We actually purchased a new floor machine for the health center, so it's going to make the floors look nice and pretty in the health center. Let's see what else.
Can you talk about the pool?
Oh yes, the pool. The pool is open currently. There is some minor stuff that we need to fix and still working on. The pool company is out there right now trying to get some of that gritty feeling under your feet. So they did realize that it is there. They're out there currently getting that out of the way. They're going around and doing a deep cleaning of the coping around the edges to get some of that white material and just debris out of the pool. I will tell you this, the pool company has come out and done a once over on the pool. They did a deep cleaning as well. Not just the company that did the construction, I'm actually talking about our physical pool company. They actually come out Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays to do a cleaning of the pool. They do the skimming, they do the chemicals, they make sure everything is up to par. I actually purchased a skimmer for our maintenance techs as well. So when they go out and do the temperatures in the morning and they write the date and the time and all that stuff on the pool, they actually will do a once over on the pool as well to kind of get in between the visits from the pool company. That's kind of all I have for housekeeping and environmental services. Any more questions from the council?
Thank you, Lee.
No problem.
Moving on, we're going to go into budget and finance, and Al Pearlman is sitting in for Sheldon Willens. Al?
Thank you, Barry. We have a strong positive monthly report for June 2021. Our income for both residential living and the health center exceeded the budgetary expectation, giving us an operating revenue of over $1,744,000. Our expenses fell below the anticipated budgetary amount and totaled a little over $1,719,000, giving us a net operating margin of $24,745. That amount, together with other income and expenses, gave us a grand total of $282,246 in net income for the month. The important fact for this report is that we significantly exceeded our expected revenue figures and decreased our budgeted expenses. Our census figures, although not where we would see them, are stable, even with a high attrition rate. This was a good month, and hopefully we will continue on this track. Thank you.
Thank you, Al. Moving on, culinary, Luke Leisman.
Good morning. This month's report is subject to change. COVID is back. We're moving on to try to utilize the patio outside to a greater extent. Hopefully we can bring back the Friday night happy hour. And I'd also like to thank the residents for parking their walkers. We've asked Jennifer for a valet, someone to assist bringing the walkers back and forth. And some of the members of the committee have met with Mark to finalize the Jewish holiday menus. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Moving on, Carol Siddons with Health and Resident Services.
Thank you. Good morning. Health and Center and Resident Services. Resident Services, there's no COVID among caregivers or residents in this department. There are 43 resident patients and 53 caregivers at this time. August 3rd at 10:30, Siegel Law Group made a presentation on senior scams and estate planning. This presentation was well attended and appreciated by those attending. The next presentation from the resident services will be announced soon. The Health Center report, COVID-19, the Health Center is currently COVID-free. Over the month, it had one staff member test positive, which led to 14 days of consecutive testing. No new positives were discovered, which means our staff are following infection control protocols as directed. We continue to closely monitor visitors and staff to ensure that masks are always worn and social distancing is performed whenever possible. The foundation donations have started to be received. The 4 new tables and 12 chairs are in place and being enjoyed by residents and guests. We have received and installed the fountain in the patio. It is beautiful and working great. All 14 recliners have been received and installed on the Cypress hallway, and the residents love them. The shade sails and lights have been ordered and should be installed over the next week or so. We have received the quotes for the new fence and concrete stucco repair that will begin in August. Thank you to everyone who participated in the fundraiser and supported this amazing gift to the Health Center. Staffing in the Health Center, while industry-wide staffing challenges continue to proliferate, our Health Center amazingly has been able to operate without the use of agency staff and has fewer and fewer open positions each week. We continue to work diligently on locating and onboarding only those candidates who fit our culture and expectations of excellence, and have seen success with those new team members that have joined our group. If you happen to visit and do not recognize a team member, please say hello and make them feel welcome. As the health center continues to increase its skilled rehab census, we have expanded our nursing staff pattern to include a fourth nurse during the day. Adding this extra nurse will allow for extra attention to our residents and lighten the workload for our team members who are doing such a great job. We have also begun searching for a full-time LPN staff development coordinator. This individual will be responsible for continual training with CNAs and nurses regarding clinical standards of care, customer service, culture building, and overall expectations of the experience in the health center. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. Moving on, grounds. I know Ken is not here. We will go and proceed to marketing. Erwin?
Yes, good morning. As reported last month, the optimism maintains in our marketing area as reflected in new deposits and closings. We expect this to continue. However, caution prevails as COVID-19 variants could hamper our recovery and reflect future occupancy percentages. Our attrition rate unfortunately continues unabated.
So just continue.
Our attrition rate unfortunately continues unabated and exceeds budget. The Abbey Delray South update for July follows. Current occupancy is 65.4%, which is approximately close.
If you could speak a little more closely to the mic.
Moving like a hot dog.
Our current occupancy is 65.4%, which is approximately the same percentage we had previous month. Sales budget is 29, and the sales closing year to date is 14, and the pending sales scheduled year to date is 4. The attrition rate budget is 29, but the attrition rate, as I mentioned before, is 26. It was 22 last month, excuse me. And that is the problem we are facing as far as trying to balance things out. June deposits received were 2. June closings were also 2, which continues to show the advancement in marketing activity. Current advertising are still with direct mail pieces and a GH hard hat tour and Brad Breeding contract lecture will be performed. More of that in a few minutes. Upcoming events, on August 12th, we had a Garden Home hard hat tour, and on August 17th, ADS Happy Hour for Prospects will occur. On August 17th, we have this ADS Breeding contract lecture. This is performed by a financial planning presentation by an expert in the CCRC industry. A number of these events might be changing or have changed due to the new instructions from our director on the COVID-19 problems. Sales highlights, as reported last month, we are working with the health center on referrals for those completing short-term rehab, and we hired a new move-in coordinator, Victoria Didio. She started on August 9th and will continue to exceed our mid-year goal number of move-ins and entrance fees. The sales department remains focused on using virtual tools for touring, and in addition to that, videos to continue the positive momentum established prior to the resurgence of COVID-19 variants. Respectfully submitted, Derwin Wecker, Chair, Janet Magnaheim, alternate, Mark Dobro, and Seymour Leshny, members. Thank you.
Thank you, Erwin. Moving on, Community and Lifestyle, Elaine Hollander.
Thank you, Perry. The report for August. The Movies of Del Rey at the Oriole Plaza is opening back up. A movie trip is scheduled for August the 14th at 1 p.m. A movie list will be provided by the sign-up sheet in the week before each movie trip, and that, of course, is in the lobby. Entertainers this month are vocalist Johnny LaRivere, who performed on August 9th to a very enthusiastic group, and vocalist Tony Quarantini, coming up on August the 23rd. Wednesday Bridge games are now held in the auditorium at 1 p.m. A new screen for the projector in the auditorium has been ordered. It should be installed by the end of the month. In the meantime, a portable inflatable screen on the stage will be used. Dr. Robert Watson will be back on August the 24th at 3 p.m. presenting First Ladies. Sammy Weber presents a lecture performance on music around the world on Sunday, August 15th at 3 p.m. Sign up for lunch at the Blue Moon Fish Company in Fort Lauderdale on Thursday, August the 19th. Sign-ups again are in the lobby. The next Great Decisions program is Monday, August the 23rd, led by Seymour Leshny. The topic, the Arctic Sea, the melting sea, and the cooperation or confrontation of nations. A Rat Pack tribute pre-dinner cabaret show will be held in the auditorium on Tuesday, August the 23rd. Sign-up is required. The new art studio, Apartment 240, will be ready in the next couple of months. In the meantime, Painting with Barry classes and the jewelry design classes will be held in the card room. Respectfully submitted, Elaine Hollander, Chair, Joan Hecht, alternate, Valerie Eber, and Margie Davis, members. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, we're going to Foundation, and Elaine Casazza, I understand you have the report.
Yes. Good morning. The July 22nd fundraiser was a success. The silent auction brought in $3,348 to the pledges, and they are still coming in. Now we have $24,043, and this was the only fundraiser we had this year. It was to benefit the health center, and we're so excited that it was a wonderful success, thanks to all the residents. Respectfully submitted, Yurdi Nelson.
Thank you, Elaine. Moving on, Al Perlman, Flyker report, please.
Thank you, Perry. 3 members of the Florida Life Care Residents Association, FLICRA State Board of Directors, serve on the Governor's Continuing Care Advisory Council, which consists of 10 members appointed by the Governor. The other members include owners and operators of continuing care facilities, representatives of the business community, the financial community, and a certified public accountant. The representatives from FLICRA are CCRC residents who hold continuing care or continuing care at home contracts with a facility credited by the state. Each member serves 3 years. The governor has not yet appointed a fourth resident. We hope he will, which will mean a fourth FLICRA representative on this 10-person agency. FLICRA member Ramsey Gaia of Westminster Woods is the current council chair. The council acts as an advisory capacity to the governor on matters pertaining to the operation and regulation of continuing care facilities, recommends needed changes in statutes and rules, and assists with any corrective action, rehabilitation, or cessation of a plan of a provider. Our presence, our meaning FLICRA representatives, is critical because we are the only representatives speaking for the residents of CCRCs at that level to the governor and the governor's cabinet. So when issues come up where the 3 main entities, the FLICRA for the residents, Leading Age for the providers, and the Office of Insurance Regulation for the state, we have to reach a consensus of where we want to go and how to get there. FLICRA protects and serves the residents of CCRCs throughout the state of Florida, and we hope we'll get a fourth FLICRA member on the Continuing Care Advisory Council. Thank you very much. Submitted by me and my alternate, Kurt Keidel.
Thank you, Al. Now we come to the, almost the close, and comments from Jennifer.
Thank you very much, Perry. Good morning, everyone. I just really wanted to touch on the recent developments with our COVID percentages. Here in the county, we're at 19.2%, which is very high, higher than we were last year at certain points. I do want to say that we're really working to move forward with careful consideration of the safety of all of us, our residents, our team members, while maintaining a balance of some semblance of normalcy. It's really important that we do not shut the community down completely. I think we just need to move forward with caution. It's a very difficult thing, for me to do, because we were so happy that things were open and living our life the way we felt comfortable. I still want to maintain that as much as possible. We're not closing the dining room down. We are still having activities. Everything we can do to space out, we will, so that we don't have people feeling uncomfortable in this auditorium. We just stopped the exercise classes for this week, just to kind of regroup a little bit. I want to make sure everybody understands we do not have any residents that are positive for COVID, either in independent living or in the health center, which is really fantastic. We are still working through some team members that have come down with COVID. And I will tell you, it's not always a matter of vaccinations or not. We do have some team members that have become positive with COVID that have been vaccinated. They have a very minor symptoms. It's nothing like it would be had they not been vaccinated, but it's something that we do need to still keep wearing our masks, because we don't know if someone has it or not, to be honest. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. So wearing our masks when we're out of our own personal home is very important, and we will be enforcing it. If you have visitors that are coming to see you, we ask that they please wear masks when they come to the community. The visitors will still not be allowed in the dining room, and the reason is because when you're in the dining room, you have your mask off because you're eating. So that's a very vulnerable spot. We do not want to introduce visitors or outsiders into the dining room amongst the main dining room area with our residents that have their masks down while they're eating. So it's very important that everybody understands that. But like I said, we still are going to try very much to keep things moving forward. We are taking it one day at a time. We are not making any blanket statements that we are closing things down that are happening later in the month, even later this week. So we will be putting out as much communication as possible so everybody knows what's going on. We are happy to do rapid testing on any resident that's interested. Certainly just give me a call and I'm happy to arrange that. What we do is we have Tootie, our home health nurse, come to your home personally and do the rapid test. It takes 15 minutes. And she's happy to do that. We do not want anyone going into the health center asking for a test because we certainly wouldn't want to expose unnecessarily our residents in the healthcare center. We do have a vaccine clinic going on this Friday, which we're very excited about. We have over 20 team members that are getting vaccinated. So we are seeing an uptick in vaccinations, which is wonderful, and we're very excited about that. And, you know, we're just trying to be promoting the vaccine and trying to help people that are uncomfortable with it. We also have just a handful of residents that are not vaccinated. We're trying to work with them to encourage them to get vaccinated. So it is an ongoing process, and I appreciate everybody's support. I can say I've not had a single complaint about the restrictions that we put upon the community, and I will again evaluate daily what the restrictions are and if we need to make any changes. So please feel free to give me a call if you have questions. I'm happy to answer them. I also have a a meeting on Fridays with residents. I try to keep it to 15 people. We will be having it this Friday in this room so we can spread out a little bit, but it's just a casual question and answer session. I would like, if you've already come to one or two of them, to please give space for other people to come and maybe take a break and come another time. Because we really do have a lot of people that are interested in coming to these sessions, and I want to be able to include as many people as possible. But it's going well, and I have a great turnout, and I'm really happy to have the time with the residents. That's about it for me. Any questions that I can answer among the panel here? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. A personal observation on my part. I have taken advantage of that outside dining. I've heard comments from people who have not, that think that it is warm out there and uncomfortable. The contrary is true. There is a cool breeze or a breeze out there. The service is impeccable. The food is the same as you would get in a dining room or the bistro. I think residents who are not taking advantage of it are doing a disservice to themselves. Lou's creation with Yurdi is incredible. It's a casual way to enjoy your food and socialize. That being said, we will meet again on the second Wednesday of September. The council workshop, as always, will be on the first Wednesday, same time, same place. This meeting is adjourned.